Ho 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 guys, Mr. Spacer reporting for duty. What's going on here? We're doing all sorts of holidays on this channel. For today's holiday, we have two, actually. It's a massive holiday. Put that on your calendar. First of all, it's New Year's Day. Congratulations. Last episode we had a Halloween, now we're having New Year's Day. But that's not the biggest celebration of today. What is the biggest, you say? Roll this clip. Ooh. What's this? Oh, no way. Can I? Will that be too cheeky? Okay, it is too cheeky. Is that too cheeky? Look at what I listed him for. If I sell him for 54 million, will I make my money back? Almost. Oh my god, I wish. And that is right, my friends. Today is the celebration where Marc Cucurella manages to go to Al Ahly for 54 million. That is insane. That's only 2 million less than what we signed him for. And I am more than happy with that. The best part of that actually is, I think, when is he joining? He's joining today. So that's fine. Basically, he had a clause that said if he played one more game for Chelsea, I'd have to pay like 1 million. And thankfully, I've managed to get rid of him just in time. Oh, this is amazing. But anyways, with that out of the way, what is the plan for today's episode? Well, today's episode is going to be a bit of a mixed one because it's a transfer special. I'm actually going to do a proper transfer special. I'm going to go through the whole month. There are a lot of games to cover actually in this period. We have a few kind of big games to worry about, and I don't really want to cover them on a live thing. So what I'm going to be doing instead is I'm just going to be playing on, pointing to you to some interesting things that happen, and eventually I will see you guys for these two games because it's exciting. And hopefully, with the fact that we have 54 million, we can sign someone special. The biggest thing that we actually need to do is find a replacement for Cucurella because he's leaving, and we need a left back. We need a backup left back. So I have two options that I kind of want to go for. First of all, I want to go for a Napoli player, Matías Oliveira. He's quite good, and he's a bit of a different kind of player than what we have right now. I think he'll be perfect for us because he's a more defensive player, and whilst all our attacking wingbacks are, attacking, I think he can introduce a little bit more steel into the defense. I mean, especially compare him to Cucurella. Yes, this guy is not particularly the best in the attacking things, but we have Chilwell anyway, so I think we're kind of safe on that front. But he does give us some steel, so I can maybe play him as a wingback on defense and just kind of shore up the defense because when we play with our tactic, we are potentially being attacked in these positions. And so if I ever need to close down shop, especially against the big teams, a wingback on defense can actually do some good things for us. And another option, which will be also a very, very, very cheap one, is Luca Pellegrini. Now, he would be perfect for me, mainly because he's still 24 years old, which means he has plenty of time to improve. He's going to be worth 7.4 million, which is absolute peanuts, and he's on 20k a week, which, replacing someone who's on 110k a week is a very good thing. So I'm actually going to put in an offer for him, see if I can do anything. Chelsea would be able to allocate one of the 4 remaining ESC players. He would struggle to be deemed a player of high enough standard for a work permit. Isn't he like a player for the national team? I'm going to put a bid for him anyway. They're asking 7.4 million. They want more money from me. I'll do this. See if that works. Okay, sure, whatever. I think if that goes through, I'll be more than happy, but I might as well put a bid for Oliveira while I'm at it. 10 million. I think I'll be more than happy anyways. And look, there's a little spoiler here, which I'll cover in a bit. I think, first of all, we'll get rid of all the stuff we usually get rid of. I don't know, do you guys do that? It's something I'm going to do kind of religiously, just in case they want to offer something crazy for me. They come back with 12.75 million. Yeah, I'm happy. I'll drop it down to 10.5. Oh, that's going to be a perfect transfer. He is in a bit more wages than Pellegrini, but, I'll be more than happy if it does go through. That's pretty much it. I don't need anyone else. I think Chilwell has been having a great season, and I don't really need to sweat about it that much. So, unless he goes to City or Al Ahly, which could be an absolute worry for everybody involved, but I don't think he will because we're currently doing very good in the league. In terms of some confirmed transfers, well, we have 3. First of all, Alex Scott, and that's the beauty of having our own world, is that he still hasn't gone to a team, Brentford, I think he went to. I think we signed him for, what was it, 12 million, which I think is absolutely crazy for the potential this kid has. He's a very good attacking playmaker, great determination, good dribbling, very good passing, very good technical player, and most importantly, the stat that I like the most, high work rate. This kid's going to go far. Maybe he'll be that kind of Mount replacement eventually if Mount decides to go on, or if we get a huge offer like we got for United. But I think for now, he's an absolute gem. And I'm really happy with this. I'm not even sure I need to advertise this guy because every single person has signed him last year, I'm pretty sure. Asan Udarago is very, very good. He's a very good player who has lots of potential. In real life, he's playing lots of games for Schalke and the first team. Here, he's still stuck in the under-19s. But for us, when he'll come back in the summer, this kid is definitely going somewhere in and around the first team because he's very, very, very good. And I think, at 17, 18, when he's going to come here, he's going to develop into a very good player. This game's funny. I signed Endrick. And the best part, I signed Endrick for 2 million up front and 15 million over 2 years. I think, look, everyone can say that that was probably the best transfer of all time. I know he's going to come in the summer, but that's fine. That means he still has time to kind of play a bit more games for, I forgot which Brazilian team this is, unfortunately. But, I don't really need to say anything. He's very good. The future is bright. And I'm very, very excited to see him. But yeah, in terms of other things that I maybe want to do, I do want to try and find another backup goalkeeper who's young. So I'm kind of in the process of scouting for that. But the team is ready. Maybe if I still have lots of money at some point during the transfer window, I may use it to buy a better center back. Maybe sell some of the other less good ones. Potentially Trevor Chalobah, who has interest in him. He's good, but, he's okay. But apart from that, this team is very, very, very ready. We have good wingers, and Kunku's back from injury. Strikers, that's it, we're kind of settled for that. Attacking midfielders, we have lots of them coming through. So, yeah. I think we're more than happy. Maybe I can go for a box-to-box midfielder, because if I can get 50 million for Gallagher, he might be going as well. But, yeah, like I said, maybe a keeper, maybe a box-to-box, and potentially a centre-back. So I hope you're excited for some interesting transfers. I mean, I'm not really sure I need to even bother with this actually, but if they say no, if they say I can't sign him, that's fine. I'm going to maybe put some pressure on Oliveira. Be like, hey, we have 2 people coming at the same time. Please lower your demands. That is crazy stuff. I'm going to make him an impact sub, see what happens. He's happy with it. Maybe that will lower his demands. Drop it to 80. Bully him a little bit. 86. Look, if you go for 82... yeah. That's happy. I'm happy with this. If he comes, they're not prepared to sell him mid-season, but I think he's gonna go mid-season for 12 million. He's gonna be a very, very good player. And look at this, Cucurella's gone. The squad's unhappy that we sold him. I am very happy that we sold him. Oh, just a little bit of a spoiler actually to how well our December went. We've managed to boss all 3 nominations for Player of the Month. Verts got the #1 award, we got Ben Chilwell, and we got Raheem Sterling. It was a very, very, very good December. Oh yeah, and he also got the Young Player of the Month. This kid's amazing. Excuse me, what? Can I get some more? Money is meaningless. He really wants to go to Al Hilal. Man, I will take it. I will absolutely take it. And also Conor Gallagher. Can I maybe tempt a Saudi team to go for him? I mean, at the same time, he's quite a good player as well, so I don't really need to sell him for less than 45 million. I don't know. He's also improving, so... maybe I should just keep him? But yeah, 60 million for Chalobah. That means we need a new center back. If this transfer goes through, I may go for Antonio Silva because compare him to Chalobah, that's almost no comparison. And he's 3 years younger. He's 4 years younger even. He'll require a lot of money, but he's going to be the player that I can just play straight away and not worry about the future of the club. I was honestly thinking that this transfer window was going to be kind of boring, but so far it's anything but that. Yeah, I also just realized I need to make a decision with some of our players in terms of contracts. Do I extend Hudson-Odoi's contract? I kind of want to. If I extend it now, maybe I can then sell him later in the summer. Maybe. I'll see what he goes for. We're interested for it. They're not prepared to tell me everything. Yeah, I think they're asking for too much. 120k is a lot for a player who's probably never going to play for Chelsea again. I am willing to go for it, so I don't risk him basically losing lots of money on him. If I can bring it down to maybe 100 or 105, 110, and just drop like loyalty bonus. I mean, loyalty bonus isn't really a thing, but agent fee needs to drop. If I can, yeah, if I can get him to 110k, I'll be more than happy. He wants a high loyalty bonus. I'm gonna sell you anyways, mate. I think that's good. I think that's good. He's on, what is he on now? He's on 120, so he's 10k down. And if I can keep him as well, then we can sell him next year for sure. How's he doing for West Ham? He's having an alright season. I mean, he's got a goal and an assist and a high average rating, but he seems to be coming off the bench all the time. So I guess maybe that's what they use him for. What a shame. Why didn't we sell him to Bayern Munich for 100 million? Why didn't we sell him to Forest for 60 million? That is very frustrating. You know what? Meanwhile, while we're still kind of waiting for that Chalobah deal to come through, I kind of want to make a deal for Shaquille Van Persie. Mainly because that sounds like a very, very cool name. And second of all, if he's anything like his dad, I think it's best if we spend a lot of money right now and get him in because he's going to be worth so much more in the future. I think we're looking at a few other players here. Yeah, he's just not at a level of someone I can pass up right now. And I think he'll be able to come in as soon as possible. This is another guy I'm actually interested in. Kobe Manu, I think that's how you say it. He is very good. He could be that future Gallagher player that I'm looking for. Just a bit quicker and a bit more technical. Do we try? We may try to go for him. Remember the name, maybe? I think I'll try and go for him. I think it'll be quite good because, you know, we're currently lacking that kind of more feisty midfielders. We have lots of creative players, but we're lacking those kind of tackly players. So maybe that's going to be something we need to look to. Cool, so this transfer is going to go pretty much now, actually. So it'll be quite good to have him in around the team as well. And with that in mind, I am going to be loaning out Broha. I think if he manages to come in, this is going to be a perfect signing. How has he played at all for Feyenoord this year? So he hasn't. He's scoring, oh my god, a goal every other game for the under 18s. He's going to be very, very, very good soon. I mean, let's take a look at his stats really, just real quick. He's quick. He's tall just like his dad. He's 17. His heading is good. His finishing is good. His dribbling is good. Oh man, this guy is going to be the perfect striker soon. He's just going to have to compete with a lot of good players. I mean, he's going to have to compete with Osimhen. He's going to have to compete with Nkunku. But to be fair, that's a thing he can win in a few years. Okay, that is funny. That is actually funny. Ben Chilwell has pretty much not missed a single game since the start of the season. And the second I sell Cucurella, he hurts himself by lifting weights in the gym. He's out for a long time, so I'm hoping that transfer is going to come through. Hopefully we're going to get the left back very soon. Otherwise, we're going to be stuck with Hall for the duration of a while. Maybe Cesar Azpilicueta is going to make his cameo at left back, but where is Hall? I need to find him. Yeah, not really ready, is he? I mean, it's going to be a nice little challenge for you, mate. Okay, and some good news. Just before the Nottingham game, we managed to sign a left back, Matias Oliveira. I'll be more than happy to have him on the squad. I think he's a very, very good backup. He'll be a very safe backup. And now that Chilwell's injured, I think he'll slot perfectly into the wingback role. Maybe he can even do... To be fair, he's not even that bad. If you take into account his first touch, dribbling, and crossing, he's not bad. I mean, good work rate, good tackling, decent pace. He can even attack a little bit. I mean, in terms of assists, has he done any? Okay, he hasn't really played at all for Napoli this year. But I think he's going to play a lot because Chilwell's out for a few months. Well, for a few weeks. So, welcome to the club, mate. Yes, I accept. We're gonna leave on a happy note. We're gonna tell him that he's been a fantastic servant for the club and then instantly go sign a replacement. So I told you I was gonna go for him, right? Antonio Silva. Let's see if we can make an offer for him. He hasn't... Did he sign a contract? I don't remember seeing this before. He has an active release clause, which I am going to trigger, and hopefully that doesn't trigger a whole lot of other people trying to sign him. Oh man, this is a beautiful sign. I like Chalobah. He was a good player, but, you know, he was okay. And I don't understand why we fought so hard to keep him in the summer. Nani? I'm calm. I'm fine. I'm actually fine. Well, I'm not. I'm gonna cry. This game is stupid. You know what? Meanwhile, do we go for the guy that Tottenham signed in real life? Do we go for Mickey van de Ven? I'm really kind of scared about this, so I wonder if I could try and speak to his agent about his availability. So we're interested to sign him between 66 and 82 million. I mean, is there anything I can do to lower it? I mean, I could try and bully them to give me a smaller wage offer. Okay, that's not as bad. You know what? Let's try and do this. Between 66 and 82 million. That's a big difference between... That's a big difference between... Well, what's his name? Antonio Silva and him. But it looks like... I mean, according to this, he looks better. Good determination. Good, very good pace. You know what? He's also left-footed. You know, we have lots of left-footed players. So he's going to join the club well. I mean, I've actually had a... I didn't realize there's a lot of left-backs. There's a lot of left-footed center-backs, which is crazy to me because usually that used to be a problem before. And now I guess it's not. But you know what? I'm going to pull the trigger. I'm going to pull the trigger in a smart way. I'm going to try and bully them into a lower thing. And I'm going to go for like maybe 50 million? Or 40 million? Let's try on 40 million plus over... Let's try 40 million over a few... With a few... Let's try 40 million with a few installments. Maybe kind of... Let's do 45. Let's do 45. Lock that in. And then try and see what they can do. Okay, they're not happy with that. Well, that didn't work. I'm going to try and go for 26 million. Oh, that's a bit unfortunate, actually. I was kind of looking forward to that, but... Now we're stuck in a position where I don't know what to do. Do we wait for the summer and sign the kid for 45 million? Or do we sign this guy now for a bit more? I don't know. Okay, so they have rejected this offer. Let's see if I can boost it a bit higher. See if they can do something with this. They want 120 million. I mean, they don't have to sell him, or they don't want to sell him halfway into it. I don't know. Is it dumb what I'm doing? That is a lot of money, though, for him. Look, he's good, but is he that good? Is he 100 million good? I mean, he's probably going to be one of the better players on my team. If we take a look at who's my best center back, Thiago Silva. I don't know. The scouts say he'll be an excellent signing. Useful backup to the team. I think I'm going to go for someone cheaper for now. And then potentially look for him or Silva. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to go for that. I'm going to do that. I'm going to try and see if there's any center backs that are kind of going for cheap that are good. And then survive the season. Hopefully getting into the Champions League. And then getting these guys. But first, I'm going to do a cheeky one. You know what? I think I'm going to go for Laporte. I know he's in a lot of wages, and he's actually a starting player now for them. What happened? You were trying to get rid of him, but I guess now that's not an issue. Can we try to... Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's a nope. Do I go for someone like Pierre Kalulu? I mean, he looks like to be quite a good player, and I think if this has anything to do with reality, maybe that will be a good way to sell him. He's currently unhappy. Let's see what we can do. They want 24 to 35 million. I think I'm going to go for it. This is going to be a perfect kind of substitution for now for Chalobah. And then it can be the backup option in the future. But that's a very good price. If I can drop it to under 35 million, that'll be perfect. Let's see. Maybe I can... Something like this. They want 42. I'm going to drop it down to 10. They want more than 10. If I can drop this installments down to 15. They want 40 million for him. I really don't want to spend that much money. But over years, it's going to be fine. You know what? I mean, potential value is 40 million. Oof, I don't know. Is it a good idea? He's young. I mean, he's got potential. I can't believe I didn't scout him. I usually try to go for him, but I mean, he's currently very unhappy. I mean, compare him to Silva. He's okay. I do need a backup center back. You know what? I do need a backup center back. I'm going to go for it. Hopefully next year we'll have lots of money to spend, and I think Kalulu will be the guy for me this year. Okay, cool. At least he kind of wants to talk. So let's get rid of all this rubbish so he doesn't need to ask any questions. He's going to be happy with it, of course. I mean, he'll be a good signing for sure. Let's drop the wages down a little bit and under, come on, under 100, under 100. Yes, let's go. Am I doing the right thing? I don't know.
2,000 years later.
Oof, that took a few days, but we have Pierre Kalulu, and we're going to be paying, I think, what, 27 million up front? Which I'm happy with. You know what? It may rise to 40 million. You know what? Thiago Silva is unfortunately getting older, and I think having Kalulu in our squad is going to be good, because especially he's kind of young. He's got plenty of time to improve. I think he'll be very good. I'm going to ask Thiago Silva to welcome him, although he's probably going to replace him. I mean, to be fair, he knows. Thiago Silva is getting old. We love him still. And yeah, it's quite nice. He's a good player. I think, honestly, he'll slot right into the squad. He'll be playing with Thiago Silva, maybe Badiashile as well. Where is Badiashile? I mean, they're different kind of players. It's quite nice that Badiashile is definitely the tall man and Kalulu is the quick man. So it's going to be a nice little combination. You're going to have the sweeper and you're going to have the guy who wins all the headers, which is good. I mean, we're almost at the end of the transfer window. We're doing quite well in terms of the league. Oh, I have so many things to show you guys at the end of it. It's going to be crazy, but wow. This has taken forever. That's hilarious. We've been sitting here for such a long time that the light has actually gone darker. So I think with that in mind, what I'm going to do is actually have a special episode and a special game against a special team in memory of Cucurella. We will be playing Brighton today. So what does that mean? That means I'm going to have to catch you up on everything that has happened. Roll the montage. So in the last episode, we took on Arsenal, which ended in a 2-2 draw. And since then, we have won every single game. Yes, boys. Chelsea is on a roll. Chelsea is incredible. Chelsea's got a very, very good future for us. And hopefully with some of the transfers that have come in this transfer window, we can continue it. But first up, we managed to somehow beat Luton in the 94th minute. They parked the bus and it took a 94th minute penalty from Nkunku to get us a goal. So next up we had Ipswich, which we managed to scrape by 3-2. We rotated the squad a little bit, and look, I'm mostly happy that we managed to go through, so there's not really much to talk about. The Liverpool game, on the other hand, was a very, very good result because the game was close, nothing much was happening. It was a very nervy affair, and Nicholas Jackson, out of every single person on this team, Nicholas Jackson is the person who's managed to come up clutch. I am incredibly happy with his contributions. He's been actually surprisingly scoring a few goals for us this year. He is continuing his nice form from Villarreal. I hope in the real life he will rediscover this form. But for now, Nicholas Jackson in my world, he's not half bad. Still rushing through the results. 4-1 against Bournemouth. Once again, Nicholas Jackson on the score sheet with Florian Wirtz back between the goals. And this is why I told you before, he managed to get a Player of the Month and a Young Player of the Month. This kid has been on fire. I think if you take a look in the last few games, he scored 4 goals and 1 assist with a huge average rating. And I'm pretty sure it just cuts off all his nice performances before. There's a lot of green here. And I'm immensely happy with his contribution. This kid is finally learning what it is to play Mr. Spaceman ball. And yeah, I mean, look, we are playing smaller teams, but, you know, at the same time, we could also lose them. Sometimes this is the Premier League, you know, you lose against these kind of teams. Sheffield United also provided absolutely no pressure as we managed to beat them 4-0. Florian Wirtz with a double, Sterling and Conor Gallagher. Conor Gallagher really does not want to leave Chelsea, as when I put him on the transfer list, he started playing immensely well, 7.78 rating from that box-to-box position, 1 goal, 5 assists. You know what, this kid made me reconsider that maybe he should be a player for the future. He may stay with us. I am more than happy, and he's still improving, regardless of the fact that I said, look, I don't need you anymore. Now that's professionalism. Moving on, we started the year beautifully with a 4-0 win against Everton, and Nkunku, Florian Wirtz again with a double, and Raheem Sterling, as always, in between the goals. We are unstoppable. Talking about unstoppable, we managed to destroy Wigan 7-3, and the only reason we conceded 3 goals was because Mamardashvili was between the sticks again. I mean, it's his first game back, so come on, let him have it. It was a very, very immense performance. We had 2 nice games against Nottingham Forest, as we managed to beat them 4-1 with Florian Wirtz again with a double, Raheem Sterling and Reece James again with a goal. And I'll jump onto the second leg. Kind of same thing. 3-2. We didn't really care. The squad was kind of existing. And look, Matias Oliveira. Exciting. In between those 2 games, we managed to scrape by a 3-2 win against Crystal Palace, and Nkunku with a double and Mason Mount. Crystal Palace didn't really test us until that nice little goal from Lerma, and after that, that's kind of it. It was a bit nervy. I put us on defense, and we managed to hold off for the last 20 minutes. I just wanted to continue our run. And the final game was against Southampton has Romeo Lavia managed to score. We haven't signed him yet, and I don't think I will. But Raheem Sterling and Mason Mount on the score sheet. Raheem Sterling, he's continuing his form. 21 games, 9 goals, 7 assists, and 3 player of the matches with a very good average rating. This kid is very, very good. But where does that leave us in the Premier Division? Well, we're currently at the top of the league, and we have actually caught up with all the games in hand. That's incredible. We're still somehow performing much better than every team out there. Unfortunately, not better than Erling Haaland's goals contribution. He's on 21 goals. Victor Mosiman is still on 11, and to be fair, he's in the Africa Cup of Nations, so that doesn't really help. But this is worrying. Ben Chilwell is still out for 6 to 10 days. He'll be back by the big games that I wanted to show you. He's got the most assists on our team, and we're going to miss him. We're going to miss him dearly. Well, that was a very long catch-up. This episode is going to be huge because I still need to do the transfer deadline stuff. So with that in mind, I'm just going to show you the team I'm going to be playing with today.
One eternity later.
Okay, so the first half of the video took way too long to record, so therefore I'm here on the second day of this recording to bring you guys the Chelsea versus Brighton game. Now, unfortunately, the game against Southampton happened 3 days ago, and the squad is looking a little bit rough. We have a few tired legs. A lot of our, key senior players are either tired or, like in Chilwell's case, injured, which is sad and tragic. But quick stop there. So here is our starting lineup. We're going to start with Mamardashvili in goal. As always, this kid is not too bad. He's getting back in the form, and hopefully he will continue on his trip to remembering how to keep a clean sheet. We have Colville and Kalulu making his Livecom debut, who has played 2 games for us. He was quite okay, 6.8 rating. Decent both games in the Cups. I think he can be the future centre-back for us until we get either Mickey or, I forgot his name, the Antonio Silva guy. I remembered his name. On the left, Azpilicueta is going to remember how to be, this time an inverted wingback. He's going to remember his beautiful time of being an amazing left back. And unfortunately, he's actually annoyed at me because I think he wants to return to Spain and I don't want to sell him. But maybe I should sell him because he's been a good player and he's gone back. And unfortunately, I didn't manage to convince him. I might sell him in a transfer window. Who knows? We have Neves in the midfield, we have James on the right, we have Gallagher and Mount in the midfield, although Mount is a little bit tired. Sterling on the left and Kunku up front, and up front is Jackson. I think this is not a bad squad. Everyone else is kind of okay. Potentially, I might do a quickie cheeky sub and put Bayern in instead of James. But apart from that, I think the squad is ready. So hopefully we can achieve a win today, and hopefully we can continue our unbeaten streak, well, pretty much since the start of the season. So yeah, let's take on Brighton. So I guess probably it's worth for me actually paying attention to this screen because you never know. We're going to have a lot of Brighton players that we need to sign. Maybe we just take and just sign the whole squad because, this team has been producing so many good players and especially so many good players for Chelsea. Oh, it's nice to see us at the top. Oh, living in your own world is great. But yeah, Brighton is going to be that team that you just need to keep an eye on all the time because somehow they managed to bring in amazing players, and I think it's better to buy them before they turn into 100 million players like Caicedo, like Cucurella for a lot of money, like who else did we buy? Robert Sanchez, fortunately not for a lot of money. But yeah, I don't know how Brighton does it. I think it's really cool that they managed to do it. I think it's really impressive, and I hope they do well in Europe. I mean, so far they're doing okay, but I kind of wish them the best. It's nice to have a team that kind of realizes has a different approach to football than a lot of the bigger teams. It's nice. I like the big underdog story. Anyways, Christensen is going to be bringing the ball forward. He's taking on Sterling, who, like I said, the wingers in this game are actually quite interesting because they do track back. They do put in the shift, which is very nice to see. Mount steals the ball. João Neves, as a halfback, brings the ball forward. Passes the ball to Nicholas Jackson. Nicholas Jackson kind of one-on-one. And again, steal. Very much a simple goal. Unless it's offside. I was a bit suspicious, but a man can hope. Let's check the goal reviews, see what happens. The goal's awarded. The referees love me. That was a beautiful interplay. Mount learning that he's actually a box-to-box, and box-to-box midfielders need to steal the ball. But yeah, a good run. Jackson managed to check his run against Webster, and that is a very, very good goal. Jackson, with Osimhen being away for the Africa Cup of Nations, Jackson, this could be your chance. I don't know how far Nigeria is going to go through. I know that, Jackson is from Senegal, and I don't know how good Senegal did. Let's take a look. So they managed to make it to the quarterfinal where they lost to Mali. So Nigeria beat Egypt, so he might be gone for a few more games. What's the semifinal like? Nigeria versus Mali. That's a good final. Potentially Nigeria will actually make it all the way to the end, which means we're going to be without Osimhen for at least a few more games. But this is not a bad squad. And Jackson has been showing to me that he has the potential to kind of lead the line, even though Osimhen's gone, which is good. We also have Nkunku, which could play in that position. Bayern receives the ball. Jackson again. And Jackson, I'm sorry, Miss Jackson, is he for real? I'm incredibly proud of that. I am sorry. Please don't unfollow this channel. But come on, when you have Nicholas Jackson scoring the goal, long gone are the days where I was worrying if this guy is going to be able to score a goal. Long gone are the days where I was making fun of him missing a goal. He is... How many shots was that actually? Was that 2 shots, 2 goals? That was in fact 2 shots, 2 goals. I mean, he could have had the 1 shot. I don't know who took that. I honestly don't know who took that first shot. But we are beating Brighton. And for a change, this is good. I don't remember the last result we had against Brighton. I can't imagine it was good. I think one of the results against Brighton we had where we lost 1-0 due to an amazing long shot as Mitoma makes a run through our defense and Mavrodashvili makes a save. His 1-on-1s are getting better. But what was this guy's name? Where is he? Enciso? I think it's this kid. I think Giulio Enciso, when he managed to smash the ball from far, and as you can see that is reflected by his long shots. He has been suggested to me by my scouts to sign him. I don't know. Maybe he can be a nice little winger for me. I mean, if you compare him to even Jackson, he's okay. I mean, Jackson isn't impressive either, but so far, so good. He's been impressing me, and I think if he was worth, what, 30 million? It's kind of worth it, especially now considering the prices that you have to pay for players. And, you know, maybe I shouldn't go for Enciso because this is Brighton. They might ask me to buy him for 100 million. Who knows? March seems to be offside. Lallana, João Neves, Bayern, Kalulu. We have Bayern on a yellow card, which makes me a bit worried because that means he could get a red. We'll see. Maybe it's something we change at halftime. We haven't done anything since those 2 goals, so maybe we need to kind of think about that. But look at that. Colville's going to take a corner. I do need to change that. I can't have a center-back taking a corner. That is insanely stupid. I blame my assistant manager. He's in charge of this. And Nkunku, into lots of space, to smashes it into the kind of the middle, into the meat grinder, as Mitoma is in a foot race with Colville, which Colville wins. All the way from the corner post, all the way from the corner flag, straight into outpacing Mitoma, which is something that is quite difficult. Look at Aspilicueta with his inverted wingback. I don't want to sell you, man. I don't want to sell you. You're a club hero. I know you want to go home. I know you want to enjoy the sun, but London's great as well, isn't it? I've been to London a few times. It's sunny, right? It doesn't rain. Huff on copium, and let's get a 3rd goal. Sterling. Oh, he sold Christensen, who's actually one of the guys I was looking forward to. And Sterling, good chance. But yeah, I mean, maybe it was a good thing I didn't sign Christensen because yikes. But look at this. Not bad. Not a bad result. 2-0 at halftime. I'm more than happy. Let's tell the boys that, you know, they weren't bad, but we have faith in them. And let's kick off the second half. So literally nothing happened in the second half. Like I say, sometimes we just finish our games out and nothing happens in the second half. So I hope we still stay for this. But the first thing I do bring you back for is for this. I'm going to be doing some substitutions. You know, the game is pretty much won. Let's get some players out. Let's get some fresh legs out. And I think I'm going to keep Jackson on because he's on a hat trick. I kind of want to give him a chance. But what I wanted to try was to give Shaquille Van Persie a run out. I think I was telling you that I was going to sign him. Yes, in fact, I have signed him. Or maybe this didn't make it into the episode and I'm going to look stupid. But anyways, Shaquille Van Persie. He looks very, very good. Very tall. Very good player. Very fast. You know, and at 17, he's going to be good. And he is. In fact, I think if I'm going to check, it doesn't say. But I think he is Van Persie's son. Right? I'm going to check myself. I'm going to pop something up on the screen to see if I'm correct. But I think he's Van Persie's son. And I think he's going to lead the line against us for this, 20 minutes. It's going to be quite nice for him. Apart from that, I think maybe stick out Broja, get him some run out. João Neves is kind of tired, but I can't really do much apart from putting Reece James. And I think with that, there's no one really that needs a run out again. Maybe if Jackson gets a hat trick, I'll get Mudryk some run around. But Look, the squad is looking great. Shaquille Van Persie, what a great name, will be making his debut. Look at all of them running. Are you Shaquille? You are. Oh, well, he just says Van Persie on it. No, I did not break the game. This is beautiful. I'm going to have him highlighted for the rest of the game. If he scores a goal, you all have to subscribe. Literally, every single one of you subscribes to this channel. Broha, as his first kind of run out with the ball. Broha. Everyone was disappointed with that. Everybody was disappointed with that. So Brighton are playing patiently out of the back. Lallana is making the ball quite a nice pass to Colville. Broha, Van Persie's in lots of space. Pass the ball to Van Persie. Don't do it again. Broha, since when? What? Why? Why? I mean, to be fair, hit the crossbar. But why? I've given him a chance, and I've put him on loan as well to see if anyone wants to pick him up. Van Persie's taking corners. He's the tallest man on the pitch. Colville. Never doubted you. Not for a second did I doubt you. I am doubting my 2 assistant managers who are both earning 70k between them. But one of the tallest players on the pitch, on his debut, puts a nice cross into Colville, into the front post, like we have practiced. He's had, what, maybe 2-3 training sessions? And that was enough. He knows exactly where to place it. Does he have good corners? How can I even tell? Free kick taking... Corners. He's got 8 corners and he took a corner. What the hell is this game, man? What is this game? We are going to see out the rest of this game. I think I'm just going to put Jackson up front and hopefully he scores a goal. Maybe put him as an advanced forward, Van Persie more of a poacher. And just kind of see if Jackson can get his hat trick because I want him to do I want him to do good. Despite the fact that in real life he's disappointed me, I want him to do good regardless. Jackson. He finds lots of space. Can he find Van Persie, who has been unticked, unfortunately? Oh, he hits the post, and I think that's a corner. Will Shaquille Van Persie take another corner? No, it's not. It's Reece James. Okay, so at least this game is more realistic. Is he going to play a close ball to Wirtz, or is he going to waste his time? Puts a cross in. Motter does win it this time. I need to find Van Persie. Van Persie is nowhere to be found. And yeah, I think that pretty much covers it. This was a good game. I hope you guys enjoyed this, I guess, my decision to do this. I am incredibly happy. Well done, guys. That was a good win. And that was a very nice testimonial to Cucurella leaving Chelsea. Don't you think? I'm pretty sure Roberto Firmino got injured in his last game against us. Where was it? Oh yeah, he did. He got injured in the 7th minute. Look, I love Roberto Firmino. And if you watched any of my videos in the last... Well, I haven't done this for 2 years, but... Roberto Firmino, maybe he's had lots of injuries in the past few... I mean, kinda. Pretty much, what, from here against Chelsea versus Everton versus Chelsea. Yeah, so maybe we hate him, but I do like him. And I don't set up my team to try and break him. But this is a good result against Brighton. We have reached 30 games unbeaten. Imagine that if it happened in real life. We're currently top of the league with 4 points and, well, City has a game in hand, so there'll be 1 point difference. Haaland. No one can catch Haaland. That's crazy. But yeah, so we're going to keep going. The transfer deadline is soon. Well, actually, it's literally the next day. So I'll see you guys for that. Transfer deadline day. And once again, we are linked with incredibly crazy players. I don't know who makes these decisions, but we are apparently interested in signing Asensio for 93. Yes, I was interested in him. Yes, I was interested in him on a free. He's had a nice start to the Premier League, but I'm not interested in him for 93 million. We have decent wingers already, so I don't see why we need to do this. Julian Alvarez is actually listed. Could be a good shout, but we have lots of strikers. But even compared to Roberto Firmino, he doesn't seem that good, which is weird. I don't know why the game doesn't rate him. That's weird. And Tottenham are trying to sign Gonzalo Ramos. Why? Don't they have Harry Kane? I mean, to be fair, coming off the bench, it will be quite good. And Antonio... man... Shakhtar, man, what is this? He went to Benfica for like 20, 30, 40 million. But for some reason, for the past few years, Ukrainian players have been worth stupid amounts. I think one of the other players I was looking for, where is he? Sudakov as well. He is good. And I remember signing him once and he became an amazing player for me. He looks okay. He doesn't look particularly the best, but I remember trying to say, how is he worth 72 to 83 million is the question that I have. Why are Shakhtar asking for so much money? How does this happen? I think he's going to stay at the club until he runs out on a contract because no one can do this. And he would be a great player. And he's actually, yeah, no, okay, he's a star player. I was going to say he's on the bench. But I like him. I wish him all the best for Benfica. But man, please, Why is he so expensive? Oh yeah, we're linked to Lionel Messi. Okay, you know what? Let's try it. Let's see if he even wants to talk to me and how much money he wants. Because if I can sign Lionel Messi finally after this, that will be quite good. I think he's still a decent player. At this moment, I have so much money, and this is kind of a bit of a inside joke on this channel. So let's try and go for him. But yeah, and also let's take part of the deal. So is there anything interesting that's happening? So far, not really. Not many interesting things that are being touted. Tompkins has been released, and so has Harry Arter. That's quite interesting. But apart from that, nothing really interesting. I put in a bid for Lionel Messi. Let's see what happens with it. Yeah, he doesn't want to talk. Okay, fair enough. You know, I'm actually going to try something. I'm going to allow Azpilicueta a leave of absence because I was trying to maybe give him out on loan and see if he'll like it. But for now, I'm going to... Whoa. 33 days? That's crazy. I mean, to be fair, look, if anyone deserves it, it is Azpilicueta. The man has been a legend at this club. And I do want to keep him for a few more years after. Because regardless of how much he's dropping off, I think he'll be a very useful club player. And I think with his mentals, you know, he can mentor some people. So yeah, have a nice holiday, mate. And enjoy your winter. English weather in the winter is not particularly the best. Hopefully it's better in wherever you're going. So yeah, enjoy. I think I did say last year that I wanted to sign a keeper. I have not found anyone, so maybe I'll take a look in the future at some point. I don't really need a player right now. We have lots of backups. Center back positions are mostly settled. I think next summer we know what we're going for. We want a big player. Midfield is fine as well. There's some good players here. In the wings we're good. Up front we're good. I think we are absolutely okay. Oh yeah, I forgot to say, I signed this guy on a free. I'm excited for him. Playing for Ajax, and I think he's quite a good player. The scout says he's good, potentially Premier Division standard. Not bad. I am going to be paying him a lot of money, and that's why I got him. But look, sometimes you got to take a risk, and he's on a free. He had a huge list of people that are wanting him, and now he's ours. So he'll be another good player to add in the attacking position. But actually talking about the attacking position, I want to add this guy, Kobe Mainu. It'll be quite nice. Maybe if he wants to join me, that'll be a good sale for United for sure. But I think maybe 20, 30, 40 million is something I'll be looking for. Okay, we have lots of money. How much? We are under the FFP somehow, which is good. Let's drop it down to 15. I think that'll be a very fair sale. Let's drop it a bit more. Okay, so they want a bit more for that. Let's see if I can drop it to a 10. Drop the fee down. United are not happy. Let's boost it up to 12. And then we'll be extremely happy with that. Okay, so United have accepted, and he does want to join me. Is that going to be enough? Boost a bit more. Oh. That sucks. I mean, look, I didn't even want to anyways. Apparently your determination is crap, so yeah, that's fine. You know what? I have been also thinking maybe it's time for us to get a nice little backup English player at the right back position. I don't know. Max Aarons has always been a decent player. I think apparently he's going to be fine. And if I get him for 20 million, maybe that'll be another good thing. And he'll be a good little backup for me. I know I have Bayern, but at the same time, they want to sign a replacement player first. Can I give out someone on loan? I don't really have anyone to give out. Let's try and do this. Whatever. If we're going to fail with this, we're going to fail with this. 20 million. They want more. Let's drop it down a bit more. See if I can kind of save some money. I can. Max Aarons will be a tidy little backup for me. But yeah, I'm just looking because I've been selling a lot of English players. Is there anyone that I could potentially go for? I need someone in that midfield role. Probably maybe English, but yeah, I am a little bit annoyed that Mainu is not going to be there, unfortunately for us. But maybe I can go from next year. But apart from that, James Justin, another kind of wonder kid that didn't really make it. I don't know. I think, yeah, there's no one really here that I'd be interested in. Maybe that's it. Maybe I just end my transfer stuff here and try and save the money, see what I can do for the future. And then eventually, yeah, next season could be a nice one. I think that's good enough. We've done a lot of good transfers. So maybe we'll see until the end if I can do anything in that regard. And then, yeah, let's give him. Yeah, let's see. Like if I can finalize this transfer, then we can dance from that. I think with the fact that we're still somehow under the FFP, let's not spend a lot of money because that's going to be awful. But yeah, we're going to be having 2 huge signings joining us sometime soon. So yeah, let's not kind of let's not spend all our money right now. Maybe I can find someone else after the transfer window and bring them for our team. Okay, this is a little bit worrying. The Aaron's transfer has been put on hold. I'm gonna have to accept delay because what else can I do? But I might not go for him. Although Callum McGregor's available. Well, that seems weird. I told you this game is broken. Callum McGregor for free at Celtic. If I can try... Do I want to bring him in, though? Do I want to bring him in? No, 22 million for a 30-year-old. Not particularly interesting. Yep. Just like we had with Tamori, we cannot sign Max Aarons, which is unfortunate. I mean, we saved some money, which is good. Unfortunately, I left it a little bit too late, but I guess in his case, we didn't really matter this much, and we already had plenty of transfers anyway, so I'm more than happy that this is an L. And that's it. We have had a very nice transfer window. We've signed 3 players. Well, we signed more than 3 players. I mean, technically 2 will come at a later time, but we've sold a lot. We've made 115 million, and we got 61 million for us. What does that mean? Well, there's a lot of players that have been... Excuse me? Harry Kane is not playing for Bayern Munich. He is playing for Al Hilal. That is hilarious. What? I am shocked. That is funny. How much? For 108 million, Tottenham are happy. And, I mean, they signed this kid to replace him. Although he's more of a advanced playmaker. I've never heard of him, and unfortunately that could be a kind of a link to me not understanding this game as well. I mean, he's a target forward. He's tall, good at heading, but can't score. Curious. Lots of transfers have happened. City is also selling a lot of players. We've spent the most, but we've also sold the most. Has anything else interesting happened? It's nice that we have a little filter for 2024, but in terms of transfers, the biggest one was Harry Kane. Once again, we had the 2 biggest kind of players in the ins and outs. We have obviously Trevor Chalobah going for 60 million to Al Hilal, who are going to have an absolutely incredible team. They're going to have, wow. Wait, let's start by wage. It's probably better. They have Trevor Chalobah he was the most earning player at the club. He was earning more than Busquets and Kepa. Man, they've signed a lot of Chelsea players. They have Koulibaly, they have Kepa, they have Trevor Chalobah. That is hilarious. But that's a lot of good players. And they have Ruben Neves, who actually I'm going to scout because I might try and bring him back at some point. I really like this guy. In terms of other big transfers, Okafor went to Real Madrid, which I think is kind of an interesting transfer. I think he's going to be okay. Did they sell anybody? Not that I see, but to be fair, they do need a striker. Benzema's gone, so maybe that will be something that they need to address. Hiroki Ito went to Liverpool. Vivian Kiergaard went to, obviously, Tottenham. We signed Kalulu for 27 million, which was a very good sale. And apart from that, nothing really happened. Nothing that stands out. No Armstrong at PSG, although I want to see now. I want to see how he is. Has he been getting any game time? I mean, he's played 5 games for them. They've signed him for 17 million. He's not scored a single goal. He is kind of performing. He's doing okay. My God, this is a weird signing. He's just there for the backups. Backup of Lukaku, who's doing very good, as we expected. But has he had any injuries since then? He has had a few, but it's fine. Okay, well, that's kind of it. I think we have a very good transfer window. We're going to have Endrick coming in, we're going to have Misui coming in, and we have Odurago coming in next year. So it's kind of something we are very, very looking forward to. But apart from that, this has been a very long episode, and this has been a very interesting episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you like this longer episodes. I think last time I said it's going to be a long episode. It wasn't. I think this one's going to be easy, 30, 40 minutes for sure. But I'm going to see you guys back, actually, for a very interesting set of games. I'm going to do this. You've heard of a double livecom, but have you heard of a triple livecom? That is right. We'll be playing the Liverpool, United, and the Arsenal games for you guys live because we're in the Carabao Cup final, and that is a very exciting proposition. So if you're excited for that, smash that like button. This has been a very, very long episode to record, and I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Hit that subscribe if you want more of the same. And with that, I leave you in awe of the 3 games you're going to be seeing next episode. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye, guys.